welcome back. So today we're going to go over Quizizz. Quizizz is a lot like Kahoot or BlueKit or GimKit. And what's great about Quizizz over those is the AI features that they have integrated. What we can do is we can take our original content, our actual course curriculum content, our PDFs, our Word documents, whatever, and we can upload it into it and feed it into the AI of this, and it'll create assignments that you can customize, auto graded. You can also make it competitive. It gives points, it has power ups, it has memes, it has music. Very engaging for the students. And so you can take our old dry curriculum and you can turn it into something that's engaging for today's youth who are used to dopamine just overloading their brains constantly. So let's go ahead and look at this. If we go to quizizz.com, it's the word quiz with IZZ at the end. So quizizz.com. And you can just click the login button. Once you do, you'll notice there's a bunch of different ways to log in, but we just can use Microsoft. We can use our school credentials and just log directly into this. All right, and we're in. So in here, you'll notice this is our dashboard. This is where we come to. Originally, when you log in, you are going to have to tell it what school you're with and a little bit of information about yourself, but not much. Just what do you teach, what grades, what subjects, and what school are you with. It's very useful to do that. While you can get away with bypassing it and not put, like, I'm not affiliated with a school, you can put that. But I recommend go ahead and putting what school you're with because it'll automatically find the other teachers in your school that are using Quizizz, and then you can share resources very easily amongst each other. So super helpful in that way. All right, so over here, we'll just click the Create button. Now you'll notice there's two options here. Lesson is great. Lesson is maybe what you're watching this video on because I do have it embedded in a lesson about Magic School and Quizizz. But lesson is wonderful because you can actually see it shows spin the wheel right there. You can actually call on students and it won't call the same student twice. So like the popsicle stick method, it actually makes them compete for who's paying attention best to your lesson. So you can actually put PowerPoints in there and whatnot and all kinds of great useful stuff. And then in the future, they are turning back on the AI feature for it. They had it for a while, but they're doing some fine tuning right now. So by the time you're watching this, it may be available again. And it's super useful because you can upload an old PowerPoint and it'll take the PowerPoint, turn it into a PowerPoint-like lesson on Quizizz to where the students get asked a question every couple slides. So you have a slide with some information, you're discussing with the class, and then the next slide would be like, okay, so what was, which is the correct Pythagorean theorem formula? And then they'd have to click it, and then it moves on. And so they'll be competing for who's paying attention the best. So it actually makes your lesson much more engaging. All right, but today we're going to be talking about the assignment feature. So any quiz, test, excuse me, or assignment, just click here. All right, and you can create it from scratch, which is how it's been done up until today, like you do with Kahoot and all these others. What's great is you don't have to do that anymore with the AI features. So that's what kind of kept me more on Kahoot than Quizizz because there's so much already available on Kahoot. Problem is, you don't know if it's aligned with Florida standards, and a lot of times the questions aren't correct. So you definitely need to make sure on that. So you can generate it from AI, which means just prompt it. Say, I want a test on whatever the subject is, proper nouns, and it'll create one. Or you can upload a document. This is my favorite because we can take our PDFs, we can take our Word documents and our PowerPoints of our already approved Florida curriculum that we're supposed to be using anyway, throw it in there and turn it into something engaging and auto-graded. And then down here, URL, which means any website. And so you can take a YouTube video and put it in there. You can take any, it says Wikipedia, but any website, and you just go ahead and feed it the URL, and then it'll go ahead and create an assignment based on that web information. You can even make it to where it'll show the YouTube video on one side while it has questions generated for that YouTube video on the right side. So the student would watch, and as they get the information, they can answer. It's kind of like those reading passages to make sure you're actually reading. It's in perfect order, but you got to read through to make sure you're getting the information. And it also does that. So if you go ahead and click the Wikipedia page or put a website in there with an article, it'll automatically generate questions from that article, put the article or the passage right next to those questions so they can read through and answer as they go. So today we're just going to be doing the document one. And it doesn't matter which one you click because it still takes you this thing where you can do all the same stuff. So right here, this is where you can prompt it. Just tell it what you want. Problem with that, like I said, you don't know if it's Florida aligned or if it's correct. AI is pretty good, but it's not perfect. Always check over your stuff. That is, you are so responsible for checking over and making sure you're providing correct curriculum materials. All right, over here, this is where we have the documents, PowerPoint, and all that. Down here, you can just put the YouTube video or any website link. Tell them how many questions you want. But for today, we're going to go ahead and upload from our device. We'll go ahead and take the Declaration of Independence. Oops. There we go. All right, and tell how many questions you want. Up to 15. I'm going to let it be automatic and let it choose. You can always adjust this later as well. Now, do I want to allow students to read the document while answering? All right, I'm going to say no for this one, but you can turn that on. All right, now, did I upload a question bank? No. Learning materials. Now it does good at auto detecting, but it's nice if you are uploading maybe an old 20 question assignment or test or quiz, PDF you have, or just a paper that you took a picture of and you're throwing on there. All that works, but you would definitely want to say question bank on those, so it knows all these questions are the questions it should use when it's asking. So it'll just recreate your questions in an auto-graded format. All right, but we're going to do learning materials here because that's what I'm giving it. While we're waiting, the memes that it'll show, like if a kid gets one right, a student gets something right, it'll show the little baby with the fist, like yes. Or if it's sad, it'll show like a sad dog looking. There's a bunch of different memes. There's even custom ones you can create. So it's really fun. It's in that collection section of what we were looking at earlier on the admin dashboard. Super fun. I actually put like my face in a couple and my name, and it's a blast. Like Mr. Darlow says, "You got this," and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so here we go. So it gave me 10 questions. All right, so what is the purpose of government according to the Declaration of Independence? To secure rights. All right, and all there. Always check over everything, make sure it's correct. And then now this is, like I said, the starting point. I mean, yeah, that's really amazing what it just did, but that's not everything. So we can improve engagement. We can add a theme to the topic. A lot of fun to do this. It works a lot better with like math and some of the other subjects. When you're doing historical events, you got to be careful with that because it'll change, about the Declaration of Independence. You don't really want to do that, but you got to see this, so I'm just going to do it for fun. Really? Of all days. All right, let's try it one more time. Never happened. There we go. All right, so who was the leader of the Mushroom Kingdom? Oh, it went away. Okay, when the Declaration of Power-Up Independence was signed. All right, when did Mario declare his independence from Bowser's rule? How many worlds did Mario have to cross to reach the princess in the Mushroom Kingdom? So, colonies, 13 colonies. So it's fun, and you see the original and the changed ones. We're not going to go ahead and do that this time, but pretty cool. And you can do it for anything. So, hey, Johnny was really good this week or scored the best on the test. You know what? Johnny, go ahead. You can pick our theme for today's assignment. Pizza. Okay, type in pizza. It'll make everything pizza themed, What else you can do? You can add students' names. It gets a kick out of that. So you can type in, like my kids are Devin and Logan. And so it just wants to separate, no spaces, just commas, it says. So I go ahead and do that. And it'll go ahead and fit Devin and Logan's name throughout it. So a lot of the students love seeing their own names. They get such a kick out of it. I remember when I was a kid, I got that little book that was personalized. It just throws your name in random spots. Devin and Logan are participating in a history quiz. They're asked, when was the Declaration of Independence adopted? I kept it true to form. I like that. All right, and discard those as well. So make all the questions fun, convert to a real world scenario. Maybe you have something coming up and you want to relate it to that or something going on in the world. Definitely do that. Translate. Translation is very good, so that's going to help with your English language learners. You can reduce how many options. This is a must. I recommend doing this every time. Click Add Answer Explanation because right away students will know why they got something wrong or why it's right. Instead, maybe they guessed and got it right or whatever. So it'll every time at the end, so you see it was blank before, now it has the Declaration of Independence was adopted this date. So if they click the 7th, instead of just saying wrong, No, okay, it's the fourth. Right away, you're correcting that student so they don't have that false information in their head for a while or wonder why. So it's right there. Really neat. Definitely recommend that. I mean, it depends on your situation, of course. If it's a test, maybe not. Um, let's see, what else? And custom prompt, that always says at the bottom, means really you can say anything to it. Tell it what you want it to do with it, and a lot of times you'll be surprised. It'll just do it. Fix grammatical errors, replace with similar questions, add 3 similar questions. So this is where you can add more questions. You can do that in custom prompt. You can say, I want this to be 15 long or 20, and it'll do that. So that's basically it. Once you're good with it, you can go ahead and you can preview it just by clicking the preview button. And you see what it looks like. Show the answers. There we go. Click next. All that good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and publish it. All right, you get 20 free that you can have in there. Now you can delete some and add more. So don't worry about the 20. It just does think, because if you want to use the same stuff next year, you're kind of losing it then. I didn't say this, but Google also allows a login, Microsoft allows a login, and a bunch of other services. So if you had more than one free login, I don't know how that works. I'm not recommending such a thing, just throwing it out there. Now, if you see over here, you got here's what it looks like when you click on it, and you can start it as a live quiz, classic or instructor pace. What that means is classic to where the students go ahead, do your quiz, do your assignment at your own pace, and then you'll sit there with a dashboard that shows you how they're doing. It'll show the percent that got it correct and how many are getting it wrong and all that. And you can watch it in real time, see who's how far, and oh man, Timmy's not going to make it before the end of the period. Keep all that's right there with classic. Instructor pace is where you answer one, everybody takes their time, answers their question. Once they're done, now you're notified they're done, and you can discuss that question, and then you can move on to the next one. So really good for if you're doing reviews. Now, assign independent practice, this is just the same as doing homework. So you can assign this out as homework and give it a deadline, and how many times they can try it. Mastery mode, you want them to keep going until they get 80%. So if they're at a 70, it's going to keep cycling back ones they got wrong into it until they get to that 80. So there's some really neat features built into here. Just definitely check those out, I recommend. Let's see. And that's basically it. So you can assign it, send it out, or you can do it in class at your pace or the student's pace. And let's see, now reports. So once you actually conduct one of these, so when you're conducting one of these, all you have to do is, we'll go back to that real quick. If we go ahead and just click play this, so once you do, these are the different kinds. You can have a team mode, great for reviews, by the way. And you can see down here, set a start time, the mastery, show answers during or not, show answers after or not, shuffle them or not, question timer, so timer depends on you if you would like to have them timed or whatnot. And let's see, name factory, keep that in mind that if they use the fake names, you won't know who's who, because they're most likely not logging into this. You're just going to go to joinmyquiz.com and type in the 6-digit code, and just like a Kahoot, go to kahoot.it, type in the code, and you're in. Same deal here. And so just keep that in mind. Now down here are the meme sets. See, I had my own personal meme sets right here. It has my name because I threw in some Canva memes, because they partnered with Canva to do the memes. So if you go down to your collections, you will find that collections and memes over here. That's where you can create them and have some fun with those. But the kids get a kick out of the memes. It's a bunch of different ones in here. They love it. All right, and let's see. Now we can go to the reports. So after somebody takes it, you can go ahead and look through here. So let's look through something that has a decent amount. Oh, that was a while ago. All right, and in here, I went ahead and did this with a few teachers at Santa Rosa Online. If you're watching, hey. And so this was, I took a website that was about earthquakes, and it went ahead and asked them questions. So this is what the report looks like after you're done. You can actually look at it by participants. How did they do? You can also look at it by questions. And so you can see the specific questions and who got those right, who got them wrong. Click on each one and you can see how everybody answered right there. Go on through. This one everybody got wrong. Which state has the most earthquake prone? Everybody thought it was California. One thought it was Hawaii. It turned out to be Alaska, and I did not know that. That's pretty interesting. All right, continuing on. Let's see, you can email all the parents if you get the parents' names entered into here, and it'll automatically send that information out to those parents. And let's see, we got overview. Overview is good for grading. And so here you can do it by last name, by first name, by the score, accuracy, the submission time, all that. You can just hover over each one to see what it was. So really great ways to interact with your data. And you can also download an Excel. So I just clicked that. Now an Excel just downloaded. And so you can have an Excel sheet that shows all that stuff. It's actually pretty decent as well. So if you click here, click participant data. So you got all that. Time data, and quiz details. Okie dokie. So that basically wraps up today's information on this. And yeah, good luck.